Hello, my name is Macy Hill, and today we're doing Lab 8 of my General Chemistry 2 online lab class. And this lab is called Using Buffers, and there's only one exercise to this. It's called Using Buffers, so let's get started. So here's the setup for the experiment, and now we will be measuring 2 milliliters of vinegar into wells A1, A6, B1, and B6. So we will be using this to measure 2 milliliters of the white vinegar from my bowl. So I've already done the well A1, so now I'll be doing well A6. So that is exactly 2 milliliters of white vinegar. Now I'll put this into the well. Now we'll be using well B1, measuring 2 milliliters of the white vinegar solution. So that is exactly 2 milliliters into wells B1, which is right here. Alright, and last but not least, we'll be doing well B6. Alright, so, and now let's see what's next for the experiment. So now we will be adding 4 drops of sodium hydroxide into each of the 4 wells. So I've named one pipette sodium hydroxide and another hydrochloric acid. So let's measure 4 drops of these into each of the wells. Okay, that should be enough for each well. So well A1. So well A6. Now we have well B1. And well B4. So now we will start each of the wells with a toothpick. So let's grab this toothpick. And we'll start the wells. Yeah, start each of the 4 wells with a clean toothpick. Now we'll dispose of this. And now it says to add 2.0 milliliters of distilled water to well D1 using this distilled water pipette right here. So now we'll be adding 2 milliliters of distilled water to well D1, which is right here. So I'll be using this graduated cylinder to measure 2 milliliters of the distilled water. Alright, so it says to put it in wells D1. Alright, on to the next step, which says add 1 drop of 6 molar of HCl to the distilled water in wells D1 to create a 0.1 molar solution of HCl. So 1 drop of 6-MHCl. So here's the HCl. Here's my HCl pipette, and we'll be adding 1 drop of this into the distilled water. Alright, and then we stir the solution with a clean toothpick. So here's our other clean toothpick, and we'll stir the solution, and we'll dispose of this toothpick afterwards. So now we'll be measuring 2 milliliters of distilled water into D6, but this time we'll be adding 1 drop of 6 molar of NaOH into the well. So I have my NaOH right here, and my NaOH pipette, and my distilled water right here. So you can measure 2 milliliters of this. So this will go into the D6 well. Then we will do 1 drop of this NaOH. So it says stir the solution with a clean toothpick. So let's grab a clean toothpick and we'll stir the solution and properly dispose of the toothpick. Alright, and on to the next part of the experiment. So I've cut up all these pH strips into half strips like this. And now I'll be measuring the pH of well A1. So here we go. Make sure the entire thing goes in there like that. And the pH level of this is, let's turn this, is 4. It has a pH of 4 right now. So we'll put it into the data table. So we'll use a short stem pipette labeled well D1 to add 2 drops of the 0.1 molar HCl from well D1 into the buffer in well A1. So here's the it's labeled D1, my pipette. And let's see, add 2 drops of the 0.1 into the buffer in well A1. So 2 drops of this into A1. And okay, now we measure it again using an unused pH strip. So the pH has seemed to gone up a little bit. So I'll probably put it at like around 4.5. Alright. So we do this until we get all the way to 16 drops, and I'll show y'all the results. Hello, so here are my results for data table 1. And now we will move on to the experiment for data table 2. And it says measure the pH of the A6 soil. So we will use this pH strip to measure the pH. So the pH seems to be in the 4 range. So we'll put our pH for 0 drops as a pH of 4. So for this part, it says to add 2 drops of 0.1 molar of NaOH from well D6 using the D6 pipette, which is right here. So we will do, just like the last experiment, it says to do 2 drops. And we'll measure the pH of 2 drops. So here's a new pH strip. Well, first we'll stir it a little bit. Okay, so the pH seems to have appeared to gone up a little bit. I'll probably say like 4.8. Alright, and let's do another one. The D6. Two drops. It will measure the pH. So it's getting a little bit up to the pH of 5. I would probably say like a 4.8 still. So I'll show y'all the results for data table 2 once I'm finished. So here are my results from data table 2. And now we will do the stuff for data table 3, which involves the B1 well. So first we take the pH of the B1 well. And like all the other wells, we start at around day 4. And now we will, so we will be directly adding 2 drops of 6 molar of hydrochloric acid. So we have our hydrochloric acid pipette right here. And we will be adding 2 drops of this into the B1 well. So let's test the pH of this well now. So it looks to be around a pH of 3 now. After 2 drops. We'll do it again. Alright, so 2 drops of the 6 molar of HCl. So it looks like this. It looks to be super acidic. Well, I would probably put it at 1, since it doesn't look, the bottom part doesn't look that purple. So I'll put the acidity of this, the pH of this as a 1 for 4 drops of HCl. And I'll show you guys the results for data table 3. So now we measure the pH of the B6 for data table 4. So it appears to have a pH of 4. Now we will be adding 2 drops of NaOH, which is right here. So 2 drops of this using the NaOH pipette, which is this. Alright, so let's measure the pH of B6 once the 2 drops were added. So this is what the color looks like. So right now I'll probably put the pH to be around 8. And now we will do the 4 drops. So we'll add 2 new drops of NaOH into the B6 well. And we'll add a new pH strip onto here. So I'll say this pH is around a 9. And I'll show you guys the rest of the results. So now we measure 2 milliliters of distilled water in the wells C1 and C4. So once again, I'll be using the graduated cylinder to be doing 2 milliliters. Alright, so this will go into C1. And then we'll do 2 milliliters for C6. Okay. So now it says measured the pH of the distilled water in well C1. Okay. So this came out as around 7, which is neutral for a solution. So the pH of water is 7. So now we use a short stem pipette labeled well D1 to add 2 drops of 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid from well D1 into the distilled water in well C1. So here's the D1. Okay. So 2 drops. Then we'll test the pH of the solution. So it was gone down to around a 5 pH. And now it says to repeat it an additional 4 times. So I'll show y'all the results of that. So now we'll measure the pH of the C6, and here's my results from the previous. Alright, so now let's measure the pH of C6. Alright. So the pH seems to be around a 7. So neutral for distilled water. So now we'll add 2 drops using this. 2 drops of 0.1 molar of NaOH from well D6, which is right here, into the distilled water in well C6. So we'll do 2 drops of this. Now we'll measure the pH. So the pH has gone up to around 9. I would believe that color to be. Now we'll do 4 drops. Okay. So the pH is now around the 10. And I'll log the rest of the results to y'all. So here are my results for all the data tables. And yeah, that's the end of my lab for this week. So I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see y'all next week.